Welcome to the MLMsuccess.com podcast, the show designed to return the network marketing industry to its roots of personal growth, leadership development, and wisdom of the ages success principles. We share with you real success stories from real people that we hope will inspire and encourage you personally and help you progress forward in your business and your life. We believe if you build people, people will build the business. Now here is your host, who has been called the number one mind in network marketing, the MLM prophet, network marketing virtual mentor, and a host of other names that we will not mention because this is a family show. Frankly, he's just a small town guy that figured out that the real product in network marketing is people. Dale Calvert.
Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I'd like to welcome you to the Follow the Leader rabbit hole. I can tell you my only goal is with the team that we work with is to get in a situation where they absolutely don't need me, to be able to teach them systematically, sequentially in a way where they can turn around and teach others who can teach others who can teach others. That's the only way true duplication occurs. If you haven't listened to session 241 of this podcast, where I go into a deeper explanation of the MLM rabbit holes, I suggest that you listen to that session before you listen to this one. If myself or a member of the APL Go North America launch team or anyone else has invited you to this session, thank you for being here. And I believe over the next few minutes, we will give you some things to think about that absolutely could have a profound effect on your future in this profession. My name is Dale Calvert. I'm one of the few people walking the planet that knows what it feels like to have an organization of over 200 homegrown leaders, all making 100,000 plus a year. I know what it's like to take somebody from scratch and get them to millionaire status. We were able to accomplish this at a time in the early 90s when network marketing was the undisputed best opportunity in the history of the world. And the profession was creating millionaires at record pace. And the fascinating thing to me now is the compensation plans are better, the products are better. What's changed? We've gotten so far away from the core fundamentals that created success to begin with. So today we're going to talk about follow the leader rabbit hole, the followers rabbit hole. Webster calls rabbit hole the definition a complexly bizarre or difficult state or situation conceived as a hole onto which one falls or descends. I think it's a gradual descension for most people. A loss of self, becoming a servant to a routine and confusing delusional activity with sanity and progress. Specifically in this session, we're going to talk about the MLM followers rabbit holes, follow the guru, follow the leader. These are people, followers, who sincerely, their only challenge is they lack the self-belief. And because they don't have the self-belief, it prevents them from being able to see documented facts. Literally prevents them. It's a stachoma. It's a blind spot in their brain. They absolutely cannot even digest or internalize or see anything other than my company is the best company on the planet. My team's the best team in the world. And though I haven't made a dime in 7 years, I'm going to be a millionaire here. They literally live in that delusional state. So in our outreach this past week, we do 25 outreach messages minimum a day. And one of the responses I got back was, I am an experienced network marketer and I'm with the right team and company. And I said, awesome. What company are you with? Modere. Awesome. How long have you been with them? And just for the record, there's no company in the profession that has pulled the wool over the unsuspecting masses' eyes like Modere. And I'm going to do a whole thing about them at some point. I mean, they have convinced the masses that they can get wealthy without building a team. And it's genius what they've done and how they've put it out there and how they've promoted themselves, but it's absolutely not true. Everything that they say, everything they convince those people of, it's 100% not true. But let me continue. She said, Modera. I said, awesome. How long have you been with them? She said, I'm part of the Wealth Building Babes Founders Club, and we started with the company 9 months ago. So it's a group of Wealth Building Babes Founders Club. So what other companies did you evaluate prior to joining Modera? She said, none. I've been with this team since I started in the profession 11 years ago. They are my friends. I said, cool. What companies have you been with? She said, Mona V, USANA, Jeunesse, Eric's, and a couple of other I can't remember because they were out of business as soon as they started. And I said, did you join network marketing to make part-time income or a full-time income? She said, I joined because I have a job I can't stand and a boss that is a pig. I joined 11 years ago because I have she joined 11 years ago. She didn't say this, but I joined because I have a job I can't stand and a boss that's a pig. And I said, oh, wow, how long have you been full-time? She said, I'm not full-time yet, but my mentor's going to make $200,000 this year. And I'm thinking to myself, you've been with them 11 years. Your mentor's going to make $200,000. You've been there 11 years and you're not full time. That's on your mentor. If you're putting, 10 hours a week plus in your business, that's on your mentor. And then I said, how many people do they have on their team? I'm talking about their mentor here. And she said she is approaching 30,000. I said, wow, that's awesome. How many of the top income earners on her team are making 100,000? Will make 100,000 this year. And she said, what? I said, how many of the top income earners on her team will make 100,000 this year? She's going to make 200,000. How many on her team is going to make 100,000? She said, none that I know of, but there are a couple doing real good. A couple doing real good? And I said, what does real good mean? She said one of her top recruits made $4,300 last month. And I said, have Jack and Sierra, and I changed the names, but I know who the couple, I figured out who these mentors are. And I said, and I've changed the name. I said, have Jack and Sierra ever had anyone on their team that you know about earn $100,000 a year? So I changed their names and I said, anybody that you know about, have they ever helped in 11 years since you've been with them from company to company? Have you ever known anybody that's made $100,000 a year? And she said, I'm sure they have, but no one I can think of off the top of my head. Okay, so here's a lady, a follower, that's been following this couple, this team, from company to company to company. She has a job that she can't stand. Her boss is a pig. She probably doesn't need a lot of money to get out of that terrible situation, and has absolutely fallen down, way down the follower rabbit hole. So at this point, I gave her what I call my 2x4 message. And the purpose of the 2x4 message is just to try to wake her up and get her to think and engage her brain. And I asked her, had she ever heard of the term bridge money deals? And because the couple that she's following are known for creating bridge money deals where they get guaranteed income, for a certain period of time. And then when the guarantee runs out, and they haven't met quotas or whatever, they jump to another company, another company, another company, another company. So I asked her if she ever heard the term bridge money deals. I told her what that meant. I reminded her why she joined. And, I said, you've been at it 11 years. You're still not close to getting out of your job and getting rid of your pig boss. I sent her some information on Modere that is very, very telling. And again, their marketing is as good as any company out there, but what they're saying does not match up actually with the way this profession is. I mean, you talk about pulling the wool over people's eyes. They absolutely have. I sent her some Google Trends data, some business from home data from third-party sources. And I just told her, look, if you stop fooling yourself, and if you really want to achieve the dreams you entered this profession with, and get rid of your pig boss, I would love to talk to you after you watch the video. And I sent her a video, a training that I thought could really, hopefully, open her mind up and help her. And the message I got back was, I'm not watching your blankety blank video. I don't appreciate you talking bad about me and my friends. You need to learn some manners. I'm perfectly happy where I am, you, blank hole. And it's like, what? But again, when people are confronted with data and facts and they're delusional, then they lose their mind. They just lose their mind. So I was going to send her another message. I did, type up another message and said, look, Sheila, I apologize. I was not trying to offend you in any way. But you said that you joined this profession to get out of your job, and you've been working with a team for 11 years and you're no closer than when you started, and there's nobody on that team that you can document or that you know about that your mentors have ever helped create $100,000 plus a year income. Maybe you need to pivot and rethink some things. And that's the only thing that I was trying to communicate to you. So I wrote this other message, and she blocked me from receiving any other messages. And I would ask you guys, does this poor lady have a chance in the world at ever getting out of her job? And the sad part is, she's more interested in hanging around, evidently more interested in hanging around in her social club than she is changing her life and hanging out with real entrepreneurs who are getting it done daily. And if you start your career with the wrong mentor or the wrong philosophy, you can end up in the followers rabbit hole. You're going to diminish in that before you even know what's happened. It's like you're gone. You're gone. And it's like, how in the heck did I get here? And people with leadership titles, a lot of them are masters at winning friends and influence people. They are. They high five everyone on their call and call them a rock star because they've been on auto-ship for 6 months straight. They haven't sponsored their mama yet, but they've been on auto-ship 6 months straight. How you doing, rock star? And, they're masters at appealing to mediocrity. And believe it or not, this rabbit hole is the easiest one in the world to get out of. And there's so many people that are just caught in these cult-like environments. They're not progressing. They're beyond stagnant. But they're part of the group. And again, their focus has become on their friendships they've made in their group instead of the impact, the positive impact they can have on their families. And for those that can muster up the guts to do it, if they can decide, I'm getting out of this rabbit hole, and they can muster up the guts to do it, it will lift a weight off them that they didn't even know that they had. Man, I've seen it too many times. And it starts with making a quality decision based upon facts. And I understand that most people end up promoting products they enjoy to get a discount and maybe make a few $100 extra. But when they're exposed to the huge residual income that can be created through, maybe they attend a live event or an online event and they think, man, if I can just stay on AutoShip and post on social media every day, it's going to happen for me. And no, it's not. It's just not. As we talked about in the treadmill podcast, the MLM treadmill, or hamster wheel, hamster wheel, treadmill, same thing, I guess. And at some point you would think for people, especially after 11 years, that common sense would kick in, but it never does. And for this lady, that I was talking with, it should be real simple. If you're a regular listener to this podcast, you've heard me say 1,000 times, before you listen to anybody, ask yourself, who is this person and why should I be listening to them? Why should I care what they say? Who have they helped do what I want to do? Who have they helped do what I want to do? I want to get away from my pig boss and this job. I've been wanting to do it for 11 years. Who have they helped do that? I want out of my job. To me, it's a real logical process for people to think through if they could just engage their brain. I want out of my job. I've been following my mentors for 11 years. I'm no closer to getting out of my job than I was when I started. And when I stop and think about it, nobody else on the team is either. And once this type of person decides to cut the cord and remove themselves from the ego-stroking cult that they're in, that calls them a rock star every Thursday night on the Zoom, then what happens once they make this decision? They can be way down this follower rabbit hole, and they will float right to the top of the rabbit hole automatically. Once they make the decision, I'm cutting the cord, I'm going to do what's best for me and my family, and I will make new friends, and I will progress with the right company at the right time in history with the right team, and I'm cutting the cord. And once they do that, it's amazing. Like, they make that decision, they float right to the top, almost to the top. They get 3 feet from the top of the rabbit hole, and it's just magical. And the weight just lifts off of them. And the only thing between them and the fresh air of a new perspective and a new opportunity to actually achieve what they came to the profession to achieve, it's about 3 feet of dirt. And this is the best way I know to describe it. And they have to make a quality business decision and then dig as fast as they can, as hard as they can, for about 1 month. As fast as they can, as hard as they can, for about 1 month. And they got to understand that they're going to be shunned. They're going to be called names. A great example of this is session 199 of this podcast, the poaching distributor session with Beth Rodriguez. If you haven't heard that and you're considering, cutting the cord, that podcast will be very beneficial for you. But truth is truth. Facts are facts. I wrote an article, 10 years ago called, I will never quit my network marketing company. Maybe you should. And I talk about the fact that if the people you're following are not helping you or anybody else get where they want to go, maybe you need to reconsider. Maybe you need to pivot. Maybe you need to look at the opportunity. You have more knowledge now. You kind of wandered in this profession 5, 7, 8, in this lady's case, 11 years ago. You should have more understanding and knowledge now than when you started. And the truth is, if people just don't like change. They get comfortable in an environment. They get comfortable around people, and they don't like change. And if people in the followers rabbit hole would just decide today to leave immediately, and they would, people in the followers rabbit hole that are listening to this podcast, you would absolutely decide today to leave immediately if you could just believe and realize, and this is the truth, that greater, deeper relationships and friendships and the monthly progression towards your goals every single month are waiting for you if you can just muster up the courage to pivot. I promise you, on the other side of this is better relationships, deeper relationships, meaningful relationships, and the progression towards your goals, towards leaving that pig boss. Every single month, you'll get closer and closer. And when that becomes a reality, we will all celebrate with you. And I know I'm speaking to some of you that are listening to this. I know I am. And, you know, maybe you've not been in the loyal guru follower rabbit hole for 11 years, but you're in it and you know it. I don't know how long, doesn't matter, but some of you are in the rabbit hole and you know it. And I just want to encourage you to at least consider digging yourself out of the hole. Consider it. I'm going to give you limited access to a private Zoom meeting that we had with many of our team members. And again, these are all private, and I'm not giving you the whole training, but I'm going to give you limited access because I want you to hear from people that are progressing and moving forward in their business every single month. First, from a mindset standpoint, and then from a result standpoint. And we have a ton of people that are working towards the ability, the skill set, the mindset, the techniques, the systems to recruit 5 brand new customers/team members every single month. And it's happening right now for many people on our team. It's happening. They're recruiting 5 new people plus every month. And if you can recruit 5 plus people every month, you control your financial destiny in this profession. So for some of you, if I've hit a nerve a little bit, if you would at least consider digging out of the follow the guru hole that you've gotten yourself into, you can access this at the North America Launch Team's private Zoom. And the name of the session is the #1 APL Go Team for Career-Minded Builders. And you can find it at MLMsuccess.com/MISSIT. MLMsuccess.com/MISSIT. And again, there's a couple of webinars there, but you're looking for the one called the #1 APL Go Team for Career-Minded Builders. And if I'm talking to you, go there right now. I mean, really, go there right now, because there's many of you, you're at crossroads. You're at crossroads, and you can achieve what you came here for. You know, you can achieve what you came here for. I mean, it tore me up that this lady has been 11 years trying to get away from that job and that boss, and is no closer than when she started. And, you know, some of you would say, I've only been doing it 2 years. I've only been doing it 3 years. Okay. How far have you progressed in that time? And if you don't like that answer, how many people did you enroll last month? How many people have you enrolled the last 90 days? How many people have you enrolled the last 12 months? And if you don't like that answer, then you've got to get around a team and people that can help you make that happen. Okay, because if you continue in the environment in which you're in, doing what you've always done, the way you've always done it, expecting different results, Einstein called that the definition of insanity. Continue to do what you've always done the way you've always done it, expecting different results. And if you've been around an organization 6 months, a year, 2 years, and you're plugged in and you're not progressing, something's not right. So please do yourself a favor. Go to MLMsuccess.com/missit, MISSIT. And if someone sent you here, get back with them as soon as you possibly can. Get back with them as soon as you possibly can. You don't want to get so far down the rabbit hole, because what happens is, really what happens to a lot of people once they go down so far, they end up becoming part of the money game crowd. Good people, honest people, hardworking people, truthful people that really want to provide value and achieve goals. And they get so misdirected, and you don't need to be. You don't have to be. So go check out that website, and I'll talk to you tomorrow on the next session of the MLM Rabbit Holes part of the MLM Success Podcast.
If you haven't gone over to iTunes yet and rated and left this podcast a review, what are you waiting for? At Calvert Marketing Group, we want to spend our time on the projects that we know are providing the most value for our clients and customers. You leaving us a review and feedback on iTunes is something that helps us more than you realize. And more importantly, it helps others like you find us. So if you've not taken the time to rate this podcast, please go over to iTunes and do that for us now. It will only take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we will be back next week with another inspiring success story, wisdom of the ages training, or answers to your questions.